Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. I'm your host, Sue. 여러분 안녕하세요. 4월 27일 월요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. From 8 to 10 a.m. every morning, upgrade your English with Morning Special through global headlines, book reviews, music, and much more. 매일 아침 8시부터 10시, 2시간 동안 스페셜한 아침을 여는 Morning Special입니다. And the one and only Steve joins me now in the studio. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I did something last night that I don't normally do. I don't know why, but it was about 10 p.m. And I just got this sudden motivation to cook all the food that I would need between now and Friday.
What?
So last night I made a lasagna. I made some steamed vegetables, some mashed potatoes, and some chicken breasts with this lovely cream white wine garlic sauce with
good.
mushrooms and onions. And I just cooked. My kitchen was a mess. I cooked all this food. And then I was done. And then I packaged it all up and I put it in the fridge. And now I have to go home. It was too late. It was like 11:30, and I'm tired.
It didn't take that long, though, to make a week's worth of food.
I have to go home and clean my kitchen after the show this
see.
morning. It's a disaster zone. But anyway, I never do that. But the last thing I want to do when I get home normally in the afternoon is cook my dinner because I'm tired. So I thought I would try that out this week and see how it goes. So
Good
I
idea.
think I had a pretty productive weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, how about you?
I did too, I think. I rearranged some of the furniture in the house
Nice.
again.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of that recently. I did my whole workout for the week during the weekend, and I feel all refreshed. Yesterday I looked out the window and I saw a crescent-shaped moon. I thought it was the moon. And then I watched the news, and the news anchor said you'll be able to see Venus in the shape of a crescent-shaped moon tonight. This month.
Really?
Yeah, so I thought, did I just see Venus?
I saw it. I know what you're talking about. We were looking at Venus.
I guess so.
Incredible.
Yeah, so that was amazing as well.
Very good. And you got your workout, so you're exercising for the week.
Well, yeah, kind of. Moving furniture is a
nice
huge
one.
workout,
Yeah.
for me at least.
Well, good morning to you and good morning to our listeners as well. Happy Monday.
Yes, indeed. 최윤식님 says, Good morning, 수진쌤, 스티브쌤. 항상 감사합니다. 특별한 아침을 열어주셔서요. 하셨습니다. Good morning to you. 전혜영님은요. 오늘도 수진쌤, 스티브쌤 덕분에 스페셜한 모닝입니다. 하셨어요. Good morning to everyone this morning. And of course, we have a quiz for you, so do take part in that. It's related to one of the... Oh, actually, we do not have a quiz. I'm so sorry there. I'm still... My mind is at... last week.
Your mind is moving your furniture around your living room.
I'm going to give out a challenge instead, not a quiz. Let's do this.
A challenge.
Yeah, let's ask our listeners what they did over the weekend that they'd like to share with us and let us know. Yeah.
I like it. I did my cooking for the week.
Exactly.
So if you're listening, what did you do over the weekend? Text in and let us know.
네, 그렇습니다. 여러분은 주말 동안에 뭘 하셨는지 사연으로 보내주시면 좋겠습니다. Of course, you can right now go to YouTube and check us out there as well. 저희가 유튜브 라이브 스트리밍도 하고 있습니다. EBS 라디오 공식 채널을 검색하셔서요. 들어오시면 모닝 스페셜 1부 9시까지 유튜브를 통해서도 라이브로 보실 수 있습니다. Okay, now with that said, let's start with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
The number of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. has surpassed 980,000, while the death toll from the coronavirus is more than a quarter of all the COVID-19 deaths reported worldwide.
미국 코로나19 환자가 98만 명을 넘어선 가운데 전 세계 사망자의 4분의 1이 미국인인 것으로 나타났습니다.
Hundreds of people have protested in Germany against mandatory COVID-19 measures.
독일에서 코로나19 확산을 억제하기 위한 봉쇄 조치에 반대하는 대규모 시위가 열렸습니다.
The Brazilian government has been plunged into turmoil after the resignation of the justice minister, which sparked calls for the president's impeachment.
브라질에서 반부패 상징으로 꼽히는 세르지우 모루 법무부 장관이 사임한 이후 정치권을 중심으로 자이르 보소나로 대통령의 퇴진을 촉구하는 주장이 나오고 있습니다.
Separatists in southern Yemen have declared self-rule, breaking a peace deal with the Yemeni government.
예멘 남부 분리주의 세력의 구심점인 남부 과도위원회가 예멘 정부와 분리된 자치지역 수립을 선언했습니다. And to listen to those headlines again, please visit our EBS website. You can actually do the review of those headlines free of charge. 무료로 지금 읽어드린 헤드라인 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오시면은요 복습하실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바랍니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one on this Monday morning. The number of COVID-19 cases in the United States has surpassed 980,000, while the death toll from the coronavirus is more than a quarter of all the COVID-19 deaths reported worldwide.
미국 코로나19 환자가 98만 명을 넘어선 가운데 전 세계 사망자의 4분의 1이 미국인인 것으로 나타났습니다.
The number of COVID-19 cases in America reached 984,891 as of 7 a.m. today, Korea time, and a total of 55,354 deaths related to the disease were recorded. There's also a new study that has indicated that the virus was likely to be spreading in multiple U.S. cities far earlier than Americans knew. New York remains the hardest hit state. They have 271,590 cases and 21,411 deaths. New Jersey follows with 102,196 cases, 5,683 deaths in that state. Other states with over 40,000 cases include Massachusetts, California, and Pennsylvania.
전 세계 코로나 확진자 수가요, 거진 이제 300만 명에 가까워지고 있습니다. 사망자 수는 지금 20만 명이 넘어섰고요. 자, 그 중에서 미국의 확진자 수가 98만 4,800여 명, 오늘 아침 기준인데요. 즉, 한 4분의 1 정도인 것으로 나타났습니다.
The United States and federal government are trying very hard to balance the public health risk posed by the virus with the severe cost of month-odd shutting down of the country's economy. The Congressional Budget Office said Friday that the unemployment rate around the country, which was near a 50-year low before the coronavirus struck, will surge to 16% by September as the economy is withering under the impact of the outbreak.
So unemployment is going to get worse, not better.
That is what they predict, yes. More than 26 million Americans have applied for unemployment benefits since March.
네, 그렇습니다. 3월 이래로 실업급여 또는 실업수당이라고 하죠. Unemployment benefits를 신청한 미국인이 무려 2,600만 명이라고 하고요. 앞으로도 이렇게 경제 상황이 약해질 수 있다, 시들시들할 것이다 라는 표현으로 the economy will wither라고 했는데요. 그렇게 예상을 했을 때는 실업률이 더욱더 오를 수 있다 이렇게 보고 있습니다.
We talked about the fact that it's up to the governors of individual states, pardon me, to make decisions about their own state's economies. So over a dozen states, including Georgia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, Colorado, Iowa is on that list. They are moving towards restarting their economies with some restrictions, but many other states remain hesitant to take such steps without more testing capacity. New York, California, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Michigan have already extended their stay-at-home orders. So now we are seeing within the United States, state by state, the governors are making their own decisions. Some are lifting restrictions, others are keeping them in place.
네, 그렇습니다. 확진자 수가 미국에 굉장히 많지만 또 경제 상황이 너무나 좋지 않기 때문에 확진세가 좀 주춤하다 싶은 주들에서는요, 이제 차츰차츰 여러 가지 시설의 운영을 허용하고 있습니다. 그래서 영업 금지 조치가 해제된 곳이 더러 있는데요. 그 시설별로 보자면은 헬스 시설이라든지 식당, 미용실, 이발소 등등을 중심으로 일단은 예약제로 운영을 한다. 이렇게 방침을 밝혔습니다.
I have even more updated numbers for you now. The numbers I gave you were from 7 a.m. Korea time today. As of 8 a.m., the numbers are even higher in America. 986,045 cases, 55,377 deaths. Even in an hour, it's gone up by 2,000 cases.
Wow.
They did a poll from CBS News. They published this on Thursday, and it said that 70% of respondents believe that the country's top priority should be trying to, quote, slow the spread of coronavirus by keeping people home and social distancing, even if the economy is hurt in the short term. We're seeing, again, we talked about the fact that different states have different policies now. And we also saw last week that there were protests in certain cities around the United States protesting against the COVID measures. But this poll shows that people, the majority of people at least, believe that taking care of people's health is more important than the economy right now.
네, 그렇습니다. CBS 뉴스가 진행한 한 설문조사에 따르면은요, 미국민의 70%가 그래도 여전히 경제보다는 건강이 우선이다라고 하면서 단기간에는 경제적인 피해를 보더라도 코로나 바이러스를 물리치는 게 더 급선무다 이렇게 대답을 했다고 합니다.
And I mentioned that study that indicates that it was in America far before they knew it. Far earlier is what they say. Even in February, early February, while the world focused on China, the virus was not only likely to be spreading in multiple American cities, but also seeding blooms of infection elsewhere in the United States. The researchers found that is according to a report from the New York Times on Thursday. In 5 major U.S. cities, New York City, Boston, San Francisco, Chicago, and Seattle, as of March 1st, there were only 23 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. However, according to a model of the spread of the disease by researchers at Northeastern University, there could have actually been about 28,000 infections in those cities by then.
Because, of course, at the time, they weren't going around testing all of the patients. So right now, they're reevaluating some of the deaths that occurred earlier this year, and they're saying some of them may have actually been due to coronavirus, but we just didn't know
And they
about
didn't
it.
know at the time, that's right.
그렇습니다. CNN 방송은요, 그동안 미국에서 코로나19 진단이 제대로 이루어지지 않아서 일반 사망자로 분류됐던 사례 가운데 코로나 사망자가 있을 것으로 이렇게 추정하면서 이로 인해서 앞으로는 사망자 데이터가 늘어날 것이다. 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있습니다. Let's go on to our second headline.
Headline number 2 today. Speaking of protests, hundreds of people have protested in Germany against mandatory COVID-19 measures.
네, 독일에서 코로나19 확산을 억제하기 위한 봉쇄 조치에 반대하는 대규모 시위가 열렸습니다.
Hundreds of people took part in demonstrations in the cities of Berlin and Stuttgart on Saturday against government measures introduced to protect the country from coronavirus. Around 1,000 protesters gathered in the German capital at the Volksbühne Theater near the city center. Protesters were shouting different things. One of the things they were shouting was, "I want my life back." They held up signs with slogans on them such as "Protect constitutional rights."
그렇습니다. 한 1,000명 정도의 독일 시민들이 모여서 이렇게 대규모 시위를 열었는데요. 내 인생을 돌려달라, I want my life back 등등의 슬로건을 내걸면서 시위에 참여했다고 합니다. I understand that a lot of the people that took part in these protests are saying this could be a plot, some sort of a scheme by the government to spread fear.
They were handing out these newspapers there that questioned the need for the lockdown measures. And you're right, claiming that the coronavirus is an attempt to seize power by spreading fear. Police spokesman Thilo Kablitz said permission was granted to distribute that that newspaper, but health authorities said that they did not approve the gathering itself. Police were there at the protest. They cordoned off the square directly in front of the building in an effort to prevent crowding. They used megaphones to call on attendees to disperse, and they also said that they arrested more than 100 people.
네, 그렇습니다. 이 1,000명 정도의 시위자들은 이제 인쇄물을 각각 가지고 나왔다고 하는데요. 그 인쇄물의 내용은 정부에서 어떤 공포 확산을 위해 권력을 공포 확산 통한 그 권력을 장악하려는 시도다라고 하면서 지금의 이 봉쇄 조치에 반대하는 목소리를 냈고요. 이 gathering 이런 모임 자체는 이제 불법이었다고 합니다. Because of course people in Germany and as well as elsewhere in the world, they can't gather. I think it's no more than 20 people if it's a group gathering or 2 people if it's just a social gathering.
This is not the first time they gathered in Berlin, as a matter of fact. This is the fourth consecutive Saturday of protest in that city. And also, I mentioned Stuttgart. That's a city in the southwest of the country. In that area, around 350 to 500 people answered a call to protest by a particular group. That group's leader is Michael Ballweg, and he said that the demonstration was in support of basic rights such as freedom of assembly and freedom of religion. The gathering had initially been banned before it was allowed to go ahead. That was a federal constitutional court decision to allow that protest.
네, 그렇습니다. 현재는 사회적 거리두기로 인해서 이렇게 사람들이 여럿 모이는 것 자체가 금지되어 있기 때문에 이번에 집회는 이제 불법이었다라는 게 이제 정부 입장인 것 같고요. 그다음에 지금 이런 주말마다 시위를 하는 게 벌써 4주째에 접어들었다고 합니다.
There has been a partial reopening of the country in Germany. Schools, some schools, some non-essential shops. There was a restriction there, though. The shops had to be under 800 square meters or 8,600 square feet. Car dealers were allowed to reopen. Book and bike stores, but not enough apparently for these protesters.
I suppose the thought process of people's minds would be why them and not us if certain shops are opening and mine isn't.
It's the same thing that we saw from the protesters in America.
Yeah,
Remember the quote from the lady in Denver, Colorado, where she said to the nurse, "Why can you go back to work? Why can you work and I can't?"
그렇습니다. 독일에서도 일부 봉쇄 조치는 해제가 됐다고 합니다. Let's go on to our third headline.
Headline number 3 today. The Brazilian government has been plunged into turmoil after the resignation of the justice minister, which sparked calls for the president's impeachment.
브라질에서 반부패 상징으로 꼽히는 세르지오 모루 법무부 장관이 사임한 이후 정치권을 중심으로 자이르 볼소나로 대통령의 퇴진을 촉구하는 주장이 나오고 있습니다.
In what they called a rambling televised address late on Friday, Brazil's president denied claims from his outgoing Justice Minister Sergio Moro that he had sought to appoint a new federal police chief in order to gain access to secret intelligence reports for reasons that remain murky, as they say. These bombshell allegations sparked pot-banging protests and also an immediate outcry among Brazil's political class, with Brazil's Prosecutor General Augusto Aras requesting Supreme Court permission to launch an investigation.
네, 그렇습니다. 브라질의 볼소나로 대통령이요, 연방 경찰 수사에 부당하게 개입하려고 했다라는 주장이 나온 것입니다. 이에 대해서 볼소나로 대통령은 televised address를 통해서 이 혐의를 다 전부 부인했죠. 그렇지만 이제 일부 언론에서는 이렇게 부인하는 모습조차도 굉장히 램블링하는 것 같았다, 횡설수설하는 모습이었다라고 얘기를 했습니다.
So Senator Simone Tebet, who is the head of the Senate's Constitution, Justice and Citizenship Committee, tweeted that if proven, the accusations represented a crime of responsibility. That's the same impeachable offense under which President Dilma Rousseff was controversially ousted in 2016. And if you're wondering, okay, who is Sergio Moro? Well, Moro became a hero to conservative Brazilians for jailing the rich and powerful during a sweeping investigation that was called Operation Car Wash. And he has alleged that Bolsonaro has fired the head of Brazil's federal police, and that's Brazil's answer to the FBI, in order to replace him with someone who is prepared to share secret intelligence reports with the president.
브라질의 연방 경찰 그 수장에 해당되는 그 지위의 뭐라 그럴까요? 공무원을 최근에 해고했습니다. 그런데 이제 대통령이 대신에 이제 그 자리에 세운 인물이 본인과 굉장히 좀 친한 그런 인물을 세웠기 때문에 사람들이 연방경찰 수사에 개입하려는 의도가 명백하다 이런 주장을 내세우고 있는 것이고요. 이 주장하는 사람들은 이것은 탄핵 사유에 해당된다라고도 얘기를 하고 있습니다. So people are saying before you get impeached, before we have to spend all this time going through an impeachment, please just step down.
Well, those are the exact words from former President Fernando Henrique Cardoso. He said the president is digging his own grave. He should resign. Now, why did Bolsonaro replace the head of the country's federal police? It's
Right.
pure speculation right now, but a report from one major newspaper claims that it was in part prompted by a federal police investigation into a fake news attack or attacks on the Congress and Supreme Court that was focusing on the president's own son, Carlos Bolsonaro. But Bolsonaro, the president, he denied those suggestions on Friday afternoon.
All right, we'll leave that story there for now and go on to our final headline.
Separatists in southern Yemen have declared self-rule, breaking a peace deal with the Yemeni government.
예멘 남부 분리주의 세력의 구심점인 남부과도위원회가 예멘 정부와 분리된 자치지역 수립을 선언했습니다.
The Aden or Aden-based Southern Transitional Council, otherwise known as the STC, declared a state of emergency, saying that it would govern the port city and other southern provinces. The STC is supported by the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. The announcement by the so-called Transitional Council of its intention to establish a southern administration is a resumption of its armed insurgency and an announcement of its rejection and complete withdrawal from the Riyadh Agreement. That is a statement from Foreign Minister Mohammed al-Hadrami speaking in a statement. The two sides, they had signed a power-sharing deal that was described by the UN as an important step towards ending Yemen's civil war, and this is a move in the opposite direction.
네, 그렇습니다. 현지 시간 26일 0시부터 이렇게 자치지역 수립이 효력을 발휘한다라고 발표가 됐는데요. 지난 여름이었죠. 그때 이제 아덴에서 주도권을 놓고 무력 충돌 뒤에 봉합이 됐었지만 이번에 또 어떤 이제 반대 방향으로 가고 있는 그런 분리된 모습 보고 있습니다.
Yes, in August of last year, the STC took over the government's temporary capital of Aden after accusing the administration of mismanagement, and this is a step in the further direction, I suppose.
Indeed. Well, those are the headlines for this morning. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지를 방문하시면은요. 앞서 읽어드린 헤드라인 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바랍니다. We'll have more interesting stories with Steve in News Focus after a song break, and I'll also be checking your messages as well. Let's listen to The Cause. 오늘의 첫 곡입니다. Breathless.
Go on, leave me breathless. Come on. The daylight's fading slowly, but time with you is standing still. I'm waiting
The Cause의 Breathless 듣고 왔습니다. 끝번호 1530님이요. 9개월 아가랑 한강 산책했어요. 자연이 너무 예쁘더라고요. 임신하고부터 우리 아기랑 함께하는 모닝 스페셜 화이팅입니다. I took a stroll around the Han River with my 9-month-old baby. I've been tuning into morning special ever since I was pregnant. I am still tuning in today, says our listener.
Thank you very much for doing so. Everybody's going for these walks these days, right?
Yeah.
It's really pleasant.
I think now that, still with social distancing in force, not in full force, maybe it is, but I think people are trying to go out a little bit more now and being cautious at the same time.
Yeah, of course, being cautious. And I think, looking at the list of things that we can do and still be safe, going for a walk is on that list, right?
그렇습니다. 모닝 스페셜과 함께 해주셔서 감사합니다. 1530님. 신지영님은요, 엄마가 몇 달째 집에서 맞벌이 중인 오빠 부부 대신 개학이 연기된 손자들 밥 차려주시고 온라인 수업 모니터링까지 너무 우울해 하셔서요. 어제 함께 산정호수 둘레길을 걷고 왔습니다. 비록 마스크는 낀 채로 걸었지만 맑은 공기는 온몸으로 느낄 수 있었어요. 전국의 조부모님들 응원합니다. My mother has been looking after her grandchildren because my brother and his wife, they both work. They're not able to be at home with my nieces and nephews. So my mother has been cooking for her grandchildren and doing the online classes with them as well.
Oh,
and
wow.
she has been so depressed recently because there's so much work to do that I decided to take her out. And we went for a stroll around the Sanjong Lake yesterday. And even though we were wearing masks, we could feel the fresh air. It was very crisp and it was very refreshing.
Grandma is a superhero.
She is,
Yeah.
정말 슈퍼맘, 슈퍼 그랜마이시네요. 신지영님이 말씀하신 것처럼 전국의 모든 조부모님들, grandparents 모두 응원합니다. Thank you to all of the grandparents out there. 백명선님은요, 저는 대형 화분 3개를 분갈이하고 쓰러졌네요. 그래도 너무 뿌듯해요. 잘 자라주렴 나무들아. I have 3 big potted plants. I don't know what the word is for this. 분갈이 means you take out the original compost and then you refill it or you change it with some new compost. Is there a word for that?
To repot the plant?
Maybe that's the word.
You take it, so it was in one pot.
Yeah.
And then you take it out, you put some new soil in there, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you put it in a new pot. Yeah.
To repot it.
We say we repot the plant.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. 네, 분갈이하는 걸 repotting 한다고 하네요. And this person says, I did that for 3 of my huge plants and I almost fainted.
That's a lot of work.
That does sound like a lot of work.
lot of work.
I don't
And
know how big it is, but yeah.
Not only a lot of work, but really kind of awkward to
Yeah.
lift them out of one and put them into another.
And you have to be really careful
You
and
do.
not to damage the plants.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, indeed. Well, thank you so much for that. Keep sending in your questions and suggestions and greetings to #1045 or our Pandy board. 네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵1045 그리고 무료 반디 게시판 이용해서 계속 사연 보내주세요. We'll now go to our first news focus story. 자, 첫 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 겨울방학을 이용해 네팔에 교육 봉사활동을 하러 갔던 충남교육청 소속 교사 4명이 지난 1월 17일 안나푸르나 인근 트레킹 중 눈 사태로 실종됐었죠. 100일 만에 이들의 시신 2구가 사고 현장에서 발견됐습니다. Let's listen to the story.
The bodies of 2 South Korean trekkers have been discovered after they went missing in January when an avalanche hit the Annapurna region in Nepal. Their identities have been confirmed with passports found along with the bodies, but details other than their genders remain withheld at the request of their families, officials said. Rescue and search efforts were suspended about a week after the accident due to harsh weather conditions and subsequent avalanches in the region, but they resumed in early April as the temperature got warmer with the snow and ice beginning to melt.
Yeah, I remember covering this story back in January. It was very unfortunate because they were just volunteering and they had the Friday and Saturday off while they were there. And so the teachers thought, well, since we're here, it's a beautiful mountain trek that people go on. They didn't even go on a difficult course. It was said to be a relatively easy course. And then they went missing.
Yeah, it was a tragic story. I remember
yeah.
very well covering
Yeah.
it on the show as well. And the rescue and search efforts, they were suspended about a week after the accident. And that would have been so very, very difficult for the
Yeah.
families because you just wouldn't know what happened. And of course, you want some closure.
Right.
You want to know the details, right?
Exactly.
We'll come back to that expression later, but this was all due to the harsh weather conditions and subsequent avalanches in the region. So let's talk about the word harsh. Harsh means too strong, and we can use this in some different scenarios. We can talk about it with weather, and if we use it referring to weather, it means really, really, really strong rain. It means really heavy snow.
Right.
Again, the meaning is too strong. So if you think about rain, oh, this rain is too strong, then we can refer to that as harsh rain or harsh weather.
네, 혹독하다라는 의미의 harsh가 여기서는 쓰였는데요. 뒤에 나오는 weather conditions를 꾸며주기 때문에 그때 이제 기후 상황이 굉장히 혹독했다, 악조건이었다라는 의미로 보시면 되겠습니다. And initially that was the reason why they couldn't proceed with the rescue operation or the search operation. However, later on, the weather improved, the ice melted, and then COVID-19.
Yeah.
So all of the areas there were blocked. We couldn't go in.
So we can use it when we talk about weather with the word harsh, but we can use it with words as well.
Right, right.
Maybe your boss speaks to you sometimes too strongly when he or she gets angry. And at that time, the words are too strong.
Right.
So you can say, ugh, my boss always uses harsh words when speaking to the employees. Punishment as well can be harsh.
Yeah.
Let's say that your child doesn't do their homework and you ground them for 1 month. Or no, that maybe that's okay if they continuously don't do their homework. Let's say 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a harsh punishment. It's too strong. It's too strong of a punishment.
맞아요. harsh 다음에 words도 올 수 있고요. 굉장히 말을 좀 심하게 할 때 harsh words. 그다음에 harsh punishment 그러면은 벌이 좀 너무 혹독하다, 너무 지나치다라는 의미로도 보시면 되겠습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
The bodies of 2 South Korean trekkers have been discovered after they went missing in January when an avalanche hit the Annapurna region in Nepal. Their identities have been confirmed with passports found along with the bodies, but details other than their genders remain withheld at the request of their families, officials said. Rescue and search efforts were suspended about a week after the accident due to harsh weather conditions and subsequent avalanches in the region, but they resumed in early April as the temperature got warmer, with the snow and ice beginning to melt.
두 번째 뉴스 포커스로 싱가포르 가보겠습니다. 싱가포르 정부가 코로나19 극복과 국민의 단결을 고취하기 위해 국기 개항이 가능한 시기를 약 2달 앞당기도록 관련 규정을 개정했는데요. Let's listen to the story.
The rules for displaying the Singaporean national flag have been amended so that people can fly it until September. The move is in response to public requests to display the flag during the ongoing coronavirus outbreak as a rallying symbol. President Halima Yaqub said, "The days ahead will remain challenging for a while as we continue to fight the COVID-19 virus. However, I am confident with our collective courage and tenacity, we will be able to pull through this together."
네, 싱가포르의 독립기념일이 8월 9일인데요. 이 독립기념일을 축하하는 의미에서 보통 7월 1일부터 9월 30일까지 국기를 개항한다고 합니다. 그렇지만 지금의 이제 코로나 상황이 겹치면서 국민의 단결을 고취하기 위해 한 2달 정도 앞당겨서 지금부터도 국기 개항을 할 수 있다. 이렇게 발표한 겁니다.
It's interesting. I did not
Yeah.
know that Singapore had rules on when they could display their flag, but because of what's going on right now, they have amended the period of time during the year that you can display it.
Yeah.
There are rules still, though. The flag has to be in very good condition. So, for
Right.
example, if you have an older flag or a tattered flag or a torn flag, then you have to dispose of that properly. I think you have to put that in a black plastic bag and dispose of it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they've made the change, and now Singaporeans can fly their pristine flags proudly.
그렇습니다. 이제 국기가 찢어지거나 다른 경우에는요, 걸어서는 안 된다고 합니다.
Yes, exactly. So President Halima Yacob said the days ahead will remain challenging, but I am confident with our collective courage and tenacity, we can pull through this together. So let's talk about a couple of expressions here. The first one, tenacity. Tenacity is being determined. It means that you will never give up. It means that no one can stop you when you are a tenacious person. So if you want to work at this company and you go for the interview and they say, I'm sorry, we don't have any positions right now. But then you contact them in 3 months and you say, I'm still interested in working for your company. And then you visit there and you ask to speak with the manager and tell them how much you want to work there. You're being tenacious. You're being persistent. Persistent is another similar word here.
Okay.
And it means that you are determined to achieve your goal.
네, 여기서 이제 tenacity라는 표현은 문맥상 봤을 때는 강인함으로 해석을 하는 게 좋을 것 같고요. 하지만 평소에는 이제 tenacious하다라고 하면은 이제 집요하다, 어떤 일에 대한 끈기가 있다라는 여러 가지 의미로도 볼 수 있습니다. 자, 여기서 이제 싱가포르에서 하는 얘기가 collective courage and tenacity에 대해서 자신감이 있다. 한 나라로서 국민들이 이렇게 단결을 하면은 강인함을 우리가 보여줄 수 있다.
Tenacity is an interesting thing, though, because you can be overly tenacious, I think,
yeah.
right? You have to be careful not to cross
Right.
cross a line between being tenacious and being annoying.
Exactly, yeah.
So being tenacious, obviously, with COVID-19, we all need to pull through this together. So to pull through, okay, so it means to achieve success after a difficult time. So imagine a tunnel, and imagine that tunnel is the difficult time.
Right.
And once you get through that tunnel, then that bad time, that difficult time is behind you. And if you are able to get through that tunnel, then we say you were able to pull through.
아하, 여기서 pull through는요, 뭔가를 이겨내다라는 의미로 쓰인 겁니다. 그래서 be able to pull through, 그러면 어떤 어려운 상황 속에서 그것을 극복하고 일어서다라는 의미로 보시면 되겠습니다.
So anytime someone is having a hard time, you can say, pull through and get through are basically the same thing.
I see.
So if you say to your friend, I know this, I know that you are a very tenacious person, I know you can get through this. You can also say, I know you can pull through this.
그래요. You're a very tenacious person. 굉장히 강인한 사람이니까 열심히 우리가 포기하지 않고 노력을 하다 보면 we will get through 아니면 pull through this. 극복할 수 있을 거야. 이런 뜻이죠. Let's listen to the story one more time.
The rules for displaying the Singaporean national flag have been amended so that people can fly it until September. The move is in response to public requests to display the flag during the ongoing coronavirus outbreak as a rallying symbol. President Halima Yacob said the days ahead will remain challenging for a while as we continue to fight the COVID-19 virus. However, I am confident with our collective courage and tenacity, we will be able to pull through this together.
And we'll be right back with the third news focus after Boyzone sings Picture of You. 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 중국이 코로나19와 관련해 필리핀과의 협력을 선전하는 뮤직비디오를 만들었다가 필리핀인들의 거센 비판을 받고 있는데요. 뮤직비디오 제목이 하나의 바다인데 서필리핀해, 즉 남중국해의 영유권을 넘보는 중국의 시각이 엿보이고 있다고 합니다. Let's listen to the story.
A music video that was meant to spotlight China's efforts to help the Philippines check the spread of the coronavirus drew irate responses, as it instead came across to many Filipinos as a veiled attempt by Beijing to reassert its claims over the South China Sea. It was supposed to be a feel-good song, with lyrics written by Chinese ambassador Huang Zhilian that praised cooperation between Manila and Beijing. The song's title, 1C, touched a sensitive nerve, though, as it appeared to suggest legitimizing China's claims over the waters the Philippines considers part of its territories. A day after it was uploaded, the video had already gotten over 100,000 dislikes.
네. 이 뮤직비디오를 그냥 언뜻 봤을 때는 굉장히 프렌들리한 비디오처럼 보입니다. 중국과 필리핀과의 협력을 강조하는 것 같고요. There are two Chinese singers, two Filipino singers, and they seem to be singing a lovely tune. I don't know exactly what they were saying because I don't speak either of the languages, but nonetheless, it was the title that, I guess
It didn't sit well.
it didn't sit well
with
the
people.
Filipinos, especially, I suppose.
Yeah, well, after one day, it had gotten 100,000 dislikes. I think only 1,000 people had liked the video, so that's a big difference in numbers.
Yeah.
What kind of images did you see in the music video itself?
It was just the people, everyday life. I didn't see any sea pictures, I don't think. Yesterday I watched it, so I don't remember exactly. But it was just people working together, shaking hands, and then parts of the city of both of the countries. It seemed, quite harmless to me. But then again, I'm neither Filipino nor Chinese, so
Sure.
I don't understand the underlying debate here. But I see what this article is trying to say. The fact that it's called 1C
Yeah.
and the two countries don't consider there ever being 1C.
Yes, exactly.
Is disputable.
And that's why they call it a veiled attempt. Veiled. It's not one of our expressions here,
right.
but what it means is to be hidden.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose, like a wedding veil kind of hides your face, right?
Exactly, yeah.
This song, the critics say, it seems like a lovely gesture from China to the Philippines, but what's the real message here? The South China Sea belongs to China. That's what the critics are suggesting here, and that's
see.
why many, many people were irate. If you are irate, and I hope you're not. Because it means that you are super, 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 super angry.
아, 그렇군요. 굉장히 화가 났을 때 격분한 상태를 irate라고 합니다. I think the lyrics to Where is the Love by the Black Eyed Peas had the word irate in it. I looked it up just before the news today. And so it goes, when you hate, then you're bound to get irate.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah, nice one. So if you look at the range of emotion there, mad and angry, those are the same meaning, right?
Yep.
Mad and angry. A level above would be furious. And then 10 levels above is irate. Irate is as angry as you can possibly be.
아, 그렇군요. angry보다 10배 이상 화난 상태, 격분한 상태를 irate라고 할 수 있습니다. I-R-A-T-E.
It is the strongest word we have
I see.
that I can think of to express how angry you are.
네.
And we have a side expression for that as well. When someone is irate, they are seeing red.
Oh, you see red, that's the expression?
Yes.
아하, 그렇군요.
S-E-E-I-N-G, seeing red, not S-E-A, S-E-E.
그래요. 네, 이게 빨강색을 보다라는 you are seeing red라는 표현을 이 irate랑 함께 쓴다고 합니다. 실제로 이 비디오가 올라오고 나서 좋아요는 뭐 한 1,000개 정도인데요. 싫어요는 9만 개 이상, 거의 뭐 10만에 가깝다고 하네요. 굉장히 분노한 모습을 볼 수 있습니다.
So they were irate because it came across to many Filipinos as an attempt by Beijing to reassert its claims over the South China Sea. So, come across. How something comes across is how you perceive something.
Right.
So, if your friend says something to you that makes you upset, for example, something related to your boyfriend. If your friend says to you, "Oh yeah, well he's not that good looking anyway," and you say, "Excuse me," and your friend says, I was just kidding," you can say, "That's not how it came across." Imagine the image of words leaving one person's mouth and traveling over to another person's ears. Physically, it's going across, it's coming across space, right? So you can imagine that image to remember this expression. But how something comes across is how you perceive the meaning of that thing. So for Filipino people, many Filipino people, that song, 1C, it came across as an attempt, they perceived it as an attempt to reassert their claims.
네, 그렇습니다. 어떻게 받아들여진다라는 의미로 come across를 쓸 수 있는데요. 이게 그냥 봤을 때는 뭐 그렇게 큰 문제가 되지 않는 비디오 같지만 하나의 바다, 하나의 뭐 뭔가라는 얘기 자체가 필리핀 국민들에게는 아주 이제 나쁜 의미를, 나쁜 어떤 메시지를 전달하는 것으로 그렇게 받아들여졌다는 뜻이 되겠습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
A music video that was meant to spotlight China's efforts to help the Philippines check the spread of the coronavirus drew irate responses, as it instead came across to many Filipinos as a veiled attempt by Beijing to reassert its claims over the South China Sea. It was supposed to be a feel-good song with lyrics written by Chinese ambassador Huang Zhilian that praised cooperation between Manila and Beijing. The song's title, 1C, touched a sensitive nerve, though, as it appeared to suggest legitimizing China's claims over waters the Philippines considers part of its territories. A day after it was uploaded, the video had already gotten over 100,000 dislikes.
Now, Steve, what is your expression of the day?
Let's talk about closure.
Okay.
During the very sad story where we talked about the fact that the trekkers' bodies were found in Nepal, I had mentioned that in the beginning, when the search was still continuing, that it must have been so terribly difficult for the families because they want some closure.
Yeah.
Now, closure is something that means you were able to get all of the information, you were able to know what happened, you were maybe able to have a conversation that allows you to emotionally say, okay, this is done, and now I can move on. But if you don't have all of the information, if you don't have that final conversation, then you don't know what happened. And therefore, you don't get closure emotionally.
Yeah.
It's all about your emotions.
Right.
You don't get closure. Therefore, you can't emotionally move forward if you don't have closure.
네, 그렇습니다. 여기서 closure라는 거는 이제 다분히 심리적인 것이라고 볼 수 있는데요. 앞서 우리가 봤던 그 안나푸르나 실종 된 이제 그 교사들 교육봉사 활동을 갔었던 교사 시신 두구가 발견됐다는 소식이 있었죠. 그래서 이제 시신이 발견이 됐기 때문에 이제는 클로저가 있다라고 얘기를 할 수 있는데 어떤 거냐면은요. 마음속에 해결이 되지 않은 사건이 미결 상태인데 이게 클로저로 인해서 그 사건이 어느 정도 종결이 되고 마음이 그래도 이렇게 됐구나라고 아는 겁니다.
If your girlfriend texts you this morning and says, "We're breaking up. That's it. Goodbye." and you don't talk about it, you don't know what happened, then you may feel uncomfortable for the next months or weeks or months
Right.
because you don't know the information. You don't know what happened. So therefore you can't move on because you didn't have any closure. So you text her and you say, "Can we talk? I need some closure."
아, 그렇군요. 왜 그랬는지, 어떻게 된 것인지 아는 거를 여기선 closure라고 합니다. All right, well, that's it for the first hour. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, as always, for having me. Enjoy your Monday. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. Well, coming up in the second hour of Morning Special, we have Say What and also Books with Paul Matthews. 비욘세의 Irreplaceable 듣고요. 저는 2부에 돌아오겠습니다.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, nigga, please don't touch. And keep talking that mess, that's fine. But could you walk and talk at the same time? And it's my name that's on that tag. So remove your bag, let me call you a cab. Standing in the front yard, telling me how I'm such a fool. Talking about how I'll never ever find a man like you. You got me twisted. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I could have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute, baby. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I can have another you by tomorrow. So don't you ever for a second get to thinking irreplaceable. So go ahead and get gone. Call up that chick and see if she's home. Oops, I bet you thought that I didn't know. What did you think? I was putting you